about some of my favorite book series for toddlers. And we are going to start with Muddle and Match. These books, there are multiple books in this series, but they're all done the same way. They are split pages where you have a top, a middle, and a bottom that you can turn the pages and you can make a silly monster, or you can line them all up and have a tongue twister. So there's monster and jobs and fairy tales and all kinds of different books in that Muddle and Match series. The next series I have here are the Lift the Flap First Questions and Answers book. This book is so much fun to read. It has little flaps that you can open to learn more about the topic. In this case, poop. Another series for toddlers is the Peek Inside series. This one does as well have flaps that you can open and little bits of information under the flaps for you to read as well. It's a good first flap book for the toddlers. You'll notice that the flaps are actually embedded into the page so they don't rip off just as if they were just glued on. Then we have the very first series. This is kind of an introduction to nonfiction for the toddlers. So it's beautifully illustrated with all kinds of information on the topic. And this is about animals. The next one up is the very first book of Things to Spot. I love this book because there is so much you can talk about with your toddler in these books. They do ask questions, so you can see like who's got on a red collar. So then you can say that it's the dog. But you can also count how many bumblebees. And they do have peek through holes too, which the kids just love. Like right here is the fish in the hole for the penguin. And here is that same fish on the next page. Lots and lots of things that you can discuss with your toddler in those books. If you're looking for a vocabulary building book, the first word books are absolutely amazing for this. There will come a time when your kiddo is going to want to just point and name all of the different things on the page. If you have one that's obsessed with a farm like mine, you can have tractor and goat and pony and pitchfork. So it's just a great vocabulary building book. And I also use it with my kindergartner when he needs to know how to spell a word, so then I don't have to be his personal dictionary. Another Lift the Flap option that I have is the ABC book. We also have numbers. We have first math. And these also have flaps that when you lift it up, there is something hiding below. So these are all about the letters and things that start with the letters. And you'll see that there is an alphabet across the bottom, and it highlights the letters that are on these two pages. The next series is the Big Book of Bigs. These books are big and they have big pages. So as you're reading these, and we've got them on everything from tractors and trucks, and this one is your dinosaurs. See, it folds out so that the page is absolutely enormous. Lots and lots of great information in these for those kiddos that love information about things as well. All right, then we also have another naming book. This is 1,000 Things in Nature, but we also have food and vehicles and things under the sea. It gives you a table of contents so you can see what is in the book, and then it just shows 1,000 things of whatever the topic is, and this is all about nature. And then the last series that I have for you right here are the picture puzzle books. And these are similar to the First Things to Spot book, but there's a little bit more on each page, as you'll see. So once again, it does ask questions that you can look and find on the page, but there is a lot more going on these pages. And they give you answers. So if you're having a hard time finding it yourself, you can just flip to the back and find those answers. So those are some of the great toddler books that we have.